Okay, so yet again, I find myself speaking about this issue. Spoke about it at the beginning of the lockdown, and when the Prime Minister Boris Johnson was doing his press conference at Westminster. Now, obviously, we've came a long way from kind of lockdown, and we've come a long way from the Westminster doing press conferences because they don't do any press conferences anymore, and I wonder why that they don't do that. This is a serious virus. It's going about. The Scottish government, do it every day, but Westminster stopped it a few months ago. Also, what I noticed at the Westminster press conference versus the Scottish Government's press conference, I spoke about before, the Scottish Government has a signer there, an interpreter there. It stands 2 metres 2 metres away from the First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon. And obviously, all the devolved nations do this as well. Westminster don't, for some weird reason. The other thing that I noticed as well was last night the Scottish First Minister Nicola Sturgeon and the Prime Minister Boris Johnson at Westminster addressed the nation, and it was on prime time telly. And it was clear to me to say that Nicola Sturgeon was on addressing the nation of Scotland, and she had a signer behind her 2 metres away. Basically, it's the same kind of it's the same girl that does the signer at the Scottish Government's press conference at the Scottish briefing. But then we watched Boris Johnson doing his addressing of the nation, and he didn't have a signer behind him, or a signer, or whatever. And I just feel as though that is shocking. It's taking away people's human rights because of it. I've said in this platform before that this coronavirus doesn't miss anybody. It can hit anyone at any time. So that means if you're disabled, if you're got mental health issues, if you're deaf or mute, it doesn't miss people just because that you're deaf and mute doesn't mean to say that you can't pick up the virus. Of course, anybody can pick up the virus. So that's important. Why the a signer should be at Boris Johnson's address in the nation, and I'm not sure why that Westminster didn't pay for the signer to come in to when Boris Johnson was addressing the nation last night. So I just thought I would speak about it today because I'm still really annoyed, but still really annoyed from the first game as well, when Westminster done the press conference at the very beginning of lockdown that they didn't have a signer. But for Boris Johnson not to have a signer last night when he did address the nation, and everybody else could hear and see, but for people it's hard of feeling they couldn't, they couldn't watch it, or else they would have to depend on someone else to tell to tell them what Boris was saying. So I don't think it's very good, and I don't think it's a good reflection